Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast today, the Profitable Mindset podcast, where I have a special guest for you. It's one of my clients in Farm Marketing Mastery, and Vanessa Frias. She's going to talk to you about her experience in the program. It's going to just be a really fun and special and exciting. I'm excited to talk to her because she's got some recent awards we're going to touch on. But Vanessa, tell us who you are, where you are, and what you raise on your farm.
Okay, well, my name is Vanessa Frias. I'm the owner of Willowbrook Farms located in Cassopolis, Michigan. We raise pasture raised meats. So we raise chickens, pig, lamb, goat, and duck. In addition to that, we have an agroeducation program at our farm in which we host workshops, classes, and activities all surrounded by agriculture. This year in 2025, we are adding a farm preschool program in which we'll have 3 to 5 year olds on our farm learning in the environment as well.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. And what is your website?
It's www.willowbrookmi.com.
Okay, perfect. Preschool.
Hmm.
Are you the teacher? Or do you have a teacher?
So I am a certified teacher. My master's in education. I owned a preschool early learning center before this for the past 10 years. And then I switched over into farming. And I just started doing field trips and activities. I'm like, I need a preschool program here.
I
Um,
love that.
Yes. So I plan on running the program in the beginning, but I plan on phasing myself out and someone else will run the program and I will oversee it because I don't have enough space on my plate for that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's really exciting. That's the first I've heard of that. Also, tell us because a lot of farmers think, well, I can't farm because I got all these kids. How many kids do you have? It's you and your husband, and what are
Yeah,
your
so
kids
it's
and their ages?
it's my husband, myself, and our 3 children. We have a soon to be 18-year-old next month, a 13-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Oh,
And they join us. Sometimes they love it, and sometimes they don't.
that's wonderful. My youngest will be 18 next month as well. So we have kids the same age.
Go for it.
Okay, so they don't have regular jobs on the farm. Is that true or
I wouldn't say that that isn't true. So they have regular jobs.
okay?
When I assign them, so they have like a chore list that they have to do on a daily basis.
Great.
Um, my 6-year-old is more or less like a helping hand. My oldest one is in college right now, so when she comes back, they all know like they sometimes will create their own list. So they say, "Well, I'll do this, this, and this, and then I'll do this, this, and this,"
Oh, that's
and
great.
they decide upon how they want to divvy it out because they know that it has to be done by a certain time.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, and then I want to touch on just yesterday on Facebook, I saw this announcement that you are Farmer of the Year, and I think a little bit ago, a month or two ago, your farm was Farm of the Year. So tell us all about these exciting awards you've received.
Well, so we do have a few different facets of our farm, and one of those is goat grazing. So we take our goats out to graze on different properties. And so because of the goat grazing, because of the educational component, and because of the farming aspect and the way in which we farm, they gave us the farmer of the year because of all those things encompassing. Um, and yeah, it was just pretty cool. There's a lot of farmers in this area. And I was speaking to one other woman farmer. She's like, there's only 2 women farmers in our county. And it's
No
you.
way.
Yeah, she's like, it's you and it's me. And I'm 70 years old.
Oh,
Yes. And so I thought it was kind of cool to know that, but also sad to know that there's not a lot of us. So I
yeah,
just feel like our programming will help, hopefully, to so little girls can see like you can be a farmer too.
totally. And what county is that in Michigan?
It's Cass County.
Oh, sorry, it bleeped out. What county?
Cass County.
Cass County. Okay, wonderful. So when she retires, you'll be the only woman farmer. So hopefully, bringing up some of these preschoolers, turn in
Hmm.
and all the agri education you do on your farm, hopefully too, will you're a role model for other women,
Thank you.
young women, old women. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Many
Thank
women
you.
start their farms as a second, in their second half of life too. So
Yeah.
you're an inspiration for all of them. Congratulations. And then Farmer of the Year. You just got
So,
that yesterday. So tell me about that.
so that it's the same thing. So
Okay.
farmer of the they're both the same thing. So farmer of the year is the same thing as the conservation farmer of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It just goes to show. I mean, it's just big accolades for you and the work you're doing. Okay, so then let's talk about marketing program, coaching. What were you struggling with? It's been about a year. What drew you to the program? Like what did you see you needed help with, or a goal or a struggle or a challenge? Why did you join the program?
Can I pause it there?
All right, so let's shift to marketing and Farm Marketing Mastery, the program you're a part of. What were you struggling with a year ago, or what goals did you have that made you reach out and join? What was the challenge that you were hoping to get help with?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me was I was struggling with running a farm with children, being able to figure out how to prioritize what do I need to do right now, and getting it out on paper, getting it out on a schedule, and then being confident that I could do it. Number one issue that I had was confidence because I had no experience with farming. I was scared because I'm like, who am I supposed to like talk to about this? Like, who's going to help me? Like, there was just so many things unknowns that I couldn't seem to like um, I couldn't grapple them. So when I joined your course, I knew that you said, "Are like some of the promotional things that I saw was like, are you struggling with these things?" And everything you said, I'm like, "Yep, yep, 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 yep." I just checked them all off because as you talk, I'm like, "That's me in a nutshell." And so I needed to find help, and so I reached out to you and joined your program, and it's built my confidence more than anything else.
That is so amazing to hear because confidence, again, speaking about women farmers, many times it's more of a challenge for us to develop
Mhm.
than others. What do you think was, you mentioned time. Was it like, what specifically do you think contributed toward you building confidence as you look back? Was it the time management, getting control over your schedule, or just talk about that?
For sure. It was the time management. It was the Sunday restarts. Like, hey, let me just dump all of this stuff down on paper, get it all out. Because one of the things I thought I could remember everything in my brain. That was me. I could put it on my brain. And on one of your podcasts, you said your brain is not meant to remember all of those things. And I think I knew that, but I didn't have someone tell me that. Like, Vanessa, you can't remember everything.
Yeah, I
So,
talk about it's not a storage, it's a
yes.
processor. Things are supposed to come in and out of our brains. It's not a storage like a computer. We can't store information. And so when you try to store, like, okay, the kids are doing this at this time, and I got to be there at that time, and I got to plant this and take care of those animals. It's not wired for that, but I think we're socialized to believe that.
I 1000% believe that we're socialized to believe that.
Yeah.
And so I had to give myself time to say, you're going to sit down and you're going to put your tasks down and you're going to say what you're going to do on what day and you're going to complete those. And if you don't, give yourself grace and try it again tomorrow. And so I would literally self talk myself. And as I self talk, I was able to build some of those skills. And there was my confidence started to build.
So now that you've developed more confidence, and that's something that continues to build as time goes on, how has that shown up in your business? Like, what does that confidence mean to you?
I walk with it, if that makes any sense. I walk with going into projects saying this is going to work, instead of saying this isn't going to work. I don't know if this is going to work. Is this possibly going to work? I walk into it believing that it's going to work. And what I've done, and I want to touch on this because what I've done on Facebook is one of the things you also mentioned was, you're probably not going to sell a lot on Facebook. But what I have sold, I think, is who I am as a farmer and walking with that confidence into farming. And then also I sometimes talk about like the bad of farming, the stuff that doesn't work out well. And people are like, gosh, she's normal just like me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
over here struggling too. And I just try to encourage people on Facebook so they begin to know who I am as a person, because I'm not just a farmer. I am an encourager. I am a teacher. I am an advocate for learning and developing. And I think that's how my social media has grown and my following has grown.
That's interesting because what you talked about is the confidence to show the not so happy parts. And when we lack confidence, often we try to convince ourselves by everything's great being the cheerleader, but confidence made you more real, it sounds like. Is
Uh-huh.
that true? Yeah.
I think that's 100% accurate. And people want real. They
Yeah.
don't want flowers and butterflies all the time. They want to know, like, I don't know, we had puppies and it was a surprise. And I'm like, I don't know who the dad of these puppies are. And everybody has joined in on this mother that, and her puppies and what's been going on with them. And I get like messages and emails. How are the puppies doing? How's mom doing? And they're just like, they are a part of our farm. They know what's going on.
Oh, that's cute. What kind are they? Do you?
So we don't so they're Anatolian Shepherd
Okay.
mixes, but we don't know if they're mixed with Irish Wolfhound or Pyrenees. And so I'm doing a DNA test and people are waiting for the DNA results. Like, what are they gonna be?
Oh, that's cute. Livestock guardian dogs for sure.
Yes.
So cute. Well, that's amazing. Like, because when you are real, people trust you. And
Hmm.
people only buy from you when they trust you. If they don't trust
Hmm.
you, they're not going to spend money with you. So, and yet so many people can feel scared about not being perfect. And, so then creating confidence so you can show up in your imperfections is
Yeah.
everything. And it's what I teach, like online relationship based marketing. Learn how to just be yourself. And it takes confidence to be yourself.
Yeah.
So if the main thing you've gotten is confidence, how has that spilled over into your relationships, like with your husband, with your kids? What's going on there?
So I think that how it's helped me and our family is that because we have order and I feel more confident about what I'm doing, my husband has really jumped on board with the farm. And I feel like sometimes he's more involved than I am sometimes because he's just like, I believe in this and it's going to work.
Oh,
Um,
so it's
we
contagious.
It's contagious. We own a barber shop as well, and was working 5 days a week. And he cut his hours down at work because he's like, no, this is gonna work and I'm gonna help you make it work.
Oh, that's
And so,
fabulous.
yeah, so now he's working 3 days at his barber shop and working on the farm because our income has grown where he can do that.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
amazing. Excuse me. Okay, let's talk about that income. So, what what have you learned in the because it's email, time management. We go through that first because you can't often get your marketing scheduled if you don't have your time managed and organized.
Mhm.
How has the marketing part of it contributed toward you making more money, making more sales enough to where your husband can cut his hours from 5 days to 3 days in his own business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's working?
we had to decide. I think one of the things that you said in one of your podcasts is like you need to decide what avenue you're going to take. So as far as, are you going to be direct to consumer? Are you going to have a farm store? Are you going to whatever you're going to just do straight web based? And so we said, you know what? We want to be out in front of people. We want people to
Perfect.
know who we are. You said one of the things you mentioned is like people have to know who you are, and so we tapped into one of the biggest resources we could think of, and that was to go to Chicago farmers markets. We go every Saturday. It is a time commitment. It was 8 months long, and it was every Saturday we had to get up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and make it to Chicago by 5:36. 5:36.
Mhm.
But that crowd grew our subscriber list. It grew our clientele. We got our ideal customer from that. They order online. It got us. We have another farm store that's right close to Chicago. They now hold our products, in which those clients from Chicago go to their farm store. Um, if they can't go to their farm store because they're closed different hours, they come to our farm store, or they order online. So that helped us to grow our farm. Um,
Yeah. So what I teach is use the farmer's market not to make one sale that day to that one person, but the priority is to get them on your email list because if you make one sale, if they come and they buy a chicken and they go away, without you getting their email, the chances of them coming back are so slim. When you get your
Mhm.
email first, then you've got a lifetime value of hundreds or thousands of dollars. And I know it's uncomfortable and can be awkward for people, but with your newfound confidence, tell me how you did that. How'd you get people on your email list at the market?
So there's two simple ways. I I take like a little notebook with our with it says name, email list, and phone number. And I put it down on the table. I write my name in first, so they see names on there, and
Yeah,
then I'll make up somebody else's. So they see that people have written on there. And then as soon as they come up, sometimes people just come over, they don't buy anything, but they write their name on the email list.
fabulous.
Sometimes at the end of each transaction on Square, this is really cool. It says, would you like to be added to the email list? I just pose the same question that Square says, and then I just type it in. And then
Yep.
those can be transferred into your MailChimp. So if they could do it that way, or they could write it on the board. I just say, hey, we have activities going on in the farm. If you're interested in those activities, you can write your name on the email list. Some people say yes, and some people say no. But more often than not, they say yes.
Yeah, wonderful. So what would you say your customer base how has it grown percentage wise since you joined the program? Has it
I can tell you when I started, I probably had 65 subscribers, to be
Mhm.
honest, like just nothing. I now have over 800
Fabulous in 1 year. That's
in
fantastic. Or
1
1
year,
season of
1
farmers
season.
market
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. And those are 800 people. Now you have connections to connect with them weekly and turn them into lifetime customers, whatever that is. They're going to buy with you from you for years probably.
Yeah.
And it makes your time spent marketing so much more efficient.
Yeah. I just sent out an email. I used several of your emails that you had created, the templates that you created.
Yes, yes, good.
Um, and then I also just created what was going on in our farm and sent it out. Some I loved and some I didn't, but I just do my best. Like everything is
Yeah.
just trial and error. You do your best. You see if you get responses back. I love sending emails and people respond back to them. So
Yeah, fabulous. I want to point out too that what you did at the farmers market, a lot of people say, "Oh, that I can't do that. I'm so inconfident." And that's where you came to the program, and the number one thing you love that how you grew is you grew confidence, and it's not the activity, it's the mindset, just the
mhm.
the ability that you have now to create confidence inside of yourself. That is a learned skill that then makes getting names on your email list so much easier.
Yeah.
So it's not the email list that holds people up. It's the mindset, which is why
Yeah.
the podcast is called Profitable Mindset. The profitable mindset is thinking thoughts that make you feel confident so you can do the tasks that build a profitable farm, like asking for those emails that often farmers hate that task.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the other things you mentioned is you said you have to remember what you signed up for. What did you sign up for? And I tell myself that, what did I sign up for? I signed up to be a farmer. This is what it takes. And so I'm going to do it.
When do you have to? Because lots of times people come to me in deep pain, and that's when so give us a personal example. Like, when have you had to tell yourself, like, remember, this is what you signed up for?
I'm going to give you my honest answer.
Okay.
When I'm waiting on a check for somebody and I don't want to dive into my savings, I don't want to um I don't want to take from another stash. That is when I have to say, I signed up for this. It's going to work out. Don't worry, and you're going to make it. That's what I tell myself in those moments is this is what I signed up for.
Yeah, good for you. I think that's just another example, what you just did, of you being so real. You're like, I'm going to give you an honest answer. And you talked about something vulnerable, but so many farmers struggle with that.
Mhm.
Like, cash flow
Yeah.
is a huge challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're making it work.
I am.
Okay. What else? What else is really showing up for you as, going from 65 to over 800 people, making more sales than ever so your husband can cut back? What else is going on?
The biggest thing have learned this year as well is I go after grants.
Mm.
We do pitch competitions. So for example, 2 weeks ago, there's a competition where you can pitch your idea and what you need on your farm, like what I need. Why do I have to pitch this idea? And you get money for it. Well, I pitched the idea. I need a walk-in freezer.
Oh,
Um,
yes, you do. That's
yes,
great.
because I
They're
have all this
wonderful.
meat. I can't grow if I don't have the space to store it in. And so I pitched the idea to a panel of judges and I won $10,000.
Amazing.
That $10,000 went to a walk in freezer that I found on Facebook Marketplace for $3,500. And that the rest of the money can go to marketing, it can go to anything.
Yeah.
But I had to stand in front of a crowd of people of 150 or so and pitch this idea within 5 minutes. But after doing all those pitches, it has given me the confidence, number one, to speak about my product and to know it fluently and then to do it authentically. And so that's helped me even at my farmers markets or when I'm talking to somebody, when someone asks me about my product, I'm able to just spill it off because I know it like the back of my hand.
Yeah, back to the confidence building that you get in here just by the the time management program.
Hmm.
People often attribute so much confidence to that. Then gives you the ability to do this. Sounds like Shark Tank.
Yes, and they did play Shark Tank music because I
Yes,
had
did
I
they?
yes I
And you're
I
talking about things that often farmers are frozen at the thought of doing something like that or asking for emails at a farmer's market. Like people don't realize confidence. It's a money making skill. It's the skill that just made you $10,000.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's exciting.
and it's not the first one I've done. I've done so many different things to try to get other income into our farm as well. But we went from $45,000 last year to we are probably over $175,000 just this year.
Yeah, so that's over a, a lot. I can't do
A
the math in
lot.
my head. It's
I don't
like
even think I do the I can't
it's
do
like
it.
five times.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
five
is.
in my program, 5x your farm sales. Amazing.
Mhm.
So you 5x your farm sales.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And I really do attribute that to your program because it really started with me believing in myself.
Yeah, yeah. This is so wonderful. I love this, especially for women.
Mhm.
You know, again, uh, we're brought up to not be confident leaders, that
Mhm.
is not talking about yourself on Facebook and to take care of everyone else and put yourself last. And a lot
Mhm.
of what I coach on in the program is when you take care of yourself first, then you have more to give to your family or community. And it sounds
Yeah.
so much like what you're speaking to. So when you look back at yourself a year ago, what are your thoughts? Like how much you've grown and stuff?
I I just don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just a different person, not just in farming, but just in general.
Mhm.
I've always been a graceful person in general, but I think because I had to go through some trials and tribulations, and when you go through those of trying to grow in something completely different, like I wasn't doing farming, I didn't know what I was doing. When you grow in that realm, you learn to be more graceful to others and to try to boost other women and other people's confidence. Like you can do it if you believe it. And I tell people about your program all the time because I'm like, this is what's helped me. It was listening to your coaching calls that you were having with other people. It was going to your Facebook page and reading through what other people were trying to do and create and what problems they were trying to solve. It was all of that. Like it was a culmination of just really taking my time and devoting time for myself so that I could build our farm.
Yeah, this is fantastic. So how I like to end these calls is there are women, so again, women, we're often socialized to spend money on everybody else and everything else, like instead of ourselves,
Mhm.
get the new tractor or some more chickens or save money for the walk-in freezer. Don't invest in a program that's going to help you be more confident.
Mhm.
It's just not how we're raised. Yet this program helps so many of you have success in your families and on your farm. So for the woman who's listening who thinks, I want some of that, I need some of that, but she's scared or
Mhm.
doesn't feel like she should spend the money on herself, what would you tell that person?
I would say you have to do what you have to do to get to where you want to be. If you don't do it now, you're not going to get to where you want to be. And so sometimes that takes a lot of bit of sacrifice.
Hmm.
And so you're going to make them. I made the money back my first farmer's market that I went to in Chicago. We made $4,000 our first farmer's market one day, one Saturday. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? Is this real? I paid it off. So
Yeah.
my debt
That
was
is,
paid off. So
yeah.
that was
That's fantastic. And now you have the skill to make that money over and over and over again to the tune of almost $200,000 in
yeah,
sales this year. That's
yeah,
crazy. How
yeah.
wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy to know you. I think you're an amazing example of what's possible. Keep us updated on the preschool. That's
I
exciting.
will.
What age did you teach when you were a teacher?
So I've taught several different ages, but when I was in elementary classrooms, I taught first, sixth, fifth, and fourth grade. And
Okay.
then when I owned our center, we had infants all the way until 12-year-olds.
Okay.
So yeah,
I would have loved, like, my kids grew up on a farm. I would have loved to have sent them to a farm preschool.
yeah.
That just seems, I don't know why it seems so revolutionary. Obviously, with everybody homeschooling, that's the ideal for a lot of people, but it's just the perfect world. I could send them to your farm school. How wonderful. Well, I love it. Thank you so much for being here today. You're going to help so many people who know that, marketing is nice, but why am I not doing my marketing or whatever it is? A lot of it comes back to the organizational and the confidence, the personal confidence. So thank you so much for being here and speaking to that. You're an amazing example of what's possible for women. Being the one of two women farmers in your county is like the influence and the inspiration you bring to that county. I hope you recognize how
Thank
how
you.
impressive that is, how many lives you're going to touch and change because of that. So I'm just very proud to know you and happy to have you in the program. And thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here today.
Of course. Thank you so much for all the effort and time that you put into helping farmers like us because it's because of you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my passion. You've heard my story. So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
my passion to make sure every farmer knows they don't have to just hemorrhage money and lose money, but it can be a profitable endeavor where your husband can be home more with your family, away
Hmm.
from his day job because of the success you're having. So, and that's available to everybody. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for doing the work.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later, Vanessa.
All right. Bye.